At some point, you've probably heard this line, "A katana is folded 1,000 times." It sounds dramatic. It sounds mystical. It sounds like something whispered in an anime flashback while cherry blossoms fall in slow motion. But the real reason samurai swords were folded over and over again is way more practical, way more nerdy, and honestly, way cooler. Today we're breaking down why katana blades were folded, where that tradition came from, what it actually does to the steel, and why the sword's shape, handle, and even the way it's made all carry meaning. Right here, on History of Simple Things. To understand folding, you have to understand one uncomfortable truth. Early Japanese steel kind of sucked. Japan didn't have big iron ore deposits like China or Europe. Instead, swordsmiths worked with iron sand, melted in clay furnaces called tatara. The steel they produced, known as tamahagani, came out uneven. Some parts had too much carbon, some had too little, some parts were brittle, some were soft, and a lot of it had impurities trapped inside. If you tried to make a sword from that as-is, best case it bent, worst case it snapped mid-fight. Neither outcome screams honorable warrior, so swordsmiths adapted. Folding wasn't about magic, it was quality control. Here's the fifth grader explanation. Imagine you're making slime, but some parts are too sticky, and some parts are too watery. Folding it over and over mixes everything evenly. Steel works the same way. When swordsmiths heated the steel, hammered it flat, folded it, and welded it again, three important things happened. First, impurities got squeezed out. Second, carbon spread more evenly through the blade. Third, weak spots were eliminated. Each fold doubled the number of layers. After 10 folds, you already have over 1,000 layers. Not because more layers equals cooler, but because that was enough to make the steel consistent and reliable. Too few folds meant uneven steel. Too many folds burned out the carbon and weakened the blade. There was a sweet spot, and experienced smiths knew when to stop. This wasn't guesswork, it was trial, error, and centuries of passed-down knowledge. What makes this even more interesting is that Japan didn't fold blades because they didn't know any better. They folded them because they had to. In medieval Europe, swordsmiths had access to larger iron deposits and later blast furnaces, which allowed them to produce more uniform steel without extreme folding. Japanese smiths, isolated geographically and working with iron sand instead of ore, solved the problem differently. Instead of changing the resource, they perfected the process. Folding became their workaround, their innovation. Two civilizations, same goal, completely different paths. European swords leaned toward thicker, straighter blades built for armor penetration. Japanese swords evolved into lighter, curved blades optimized for precision cuts. Neither approach was better. They were answers to different environments, resources, and styles of warfare. Constraints didn't limit Japanese swordmaking, it forced it to level up. Folding also explains why katanas look the way they do. Those wood grain patterns on the blade, that's called hada. It's the visible result of layered steel being polished down to perfection. The wavy line near the edge, that's the hamon. It comes from differential hardening. Swordsmiths coated the blade in clay, thicker on the spine and thinner on the edge, then quenched it in water. The edge cooled faster and became extremely hard. The spine cooled slower and stayed flexible. Hard edge plus flexible spine equals a blade that cuts well without snapping. That wavy line is not decoration. It's a survival feature that just happens to look beautiful. Different schools even had signature Hamon styles, which is basically ancient branding. The katana's curve isn't just aesthetic. When the blade is quenched, the spine shrinks differently than the edge, creating a natural curve. That curve improves cutting efficiency, especially for draw cuts. It also makes the blade faster and smoother to use on horseback, which mattered a lot back when samurai were actually riding horses into combat. Earlier swords like the tachi were more curved and worn edge down, designed mainly for cavalry. The katana evolved later and was worn edge up, optimized for quick draws and close combat. Shorter blades like the wakizashi were used indoors or as backup weapons. Same principles, different use cases. Same philosophy, different tools. The katana's handle is long for a reason. Two hands give better control, leverage, and power. The wrapping isn't just decorative either. It improves grip, absorbs sweat, and hides small ornaments underneath that could symbolize luck, family, or belief. The guard, called the tsuba, started out plain. Early samurai didn't care about decoration. They cared about not losing fingers. Later, as Japan entered more peaceful periods, tsuba became works of art. Nature scenes, myths, clan symbols, still functional but now also a flex. The scabbard wasn't random either. Its fit helped protect the blade and allowed for fast, controlled drawing. Everything about the katana is intentional. Nothing is extra. Here's where it gets deep. Forging a katana wasn't just craftsmanship, it was ritual. Swordsmiths purified themselves before working. They treated the forge as sacred space. Shinto prayers were common. The blade was believed to carry a spirit, not just sharpness. That's why swords were passed down through families, why they were named, why losing one was considered dishonor. The katana wasn't just a weapon. It was identity, status, and responsibility in physical form. When people say the sword is the soul of the samurai, that wasn't poetic fluff. That was belief. Pop culture didn't make this up. Anime, movies, and games didn't invent katana hype. They inherited it. From classic samurai films to modern anime like Demon Slayer, from Kill Bill to Ghost of Tsushima, the folded blade is shorthand for discipline, patience, and deadly precision. Every dramatic forge scene, every glowing Haman close-up, every slow, unsheathing moment exists because the real thing earned that reputation first. Pop culture exaggerates, history explains. So why were samurai swords folded? Not for magic, not for legend, not for bragging rights. They were folded because early steel demanded it. Folding made the blade stronger, cleaner, more reliable, and more consistent. The beauty came later. The symbolism followed function. The ritual followed necessity. A katana is what happens when material limitations meet human obsession with perfection. And that's why this simple thing still fascinates us centuries later. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.